Hi, it's Mike. Welcome to the Bonsai channel. Well, today I want to talk to you about Scheffleras. Mine has grown too wild and it needs to be pruned down. And also it's got a little pest problem, some scale and also some powdery mildew. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. And we're going to prune it up. So let's show you real quick what the scale and the powdery mildew look like. These are scale bugs right here. And these are the creatures that we'll be getting rid of. There's not a lot of powdery mildew on here, but you kind of see some of it right there. It looks like the outside of the scale. It's just white and powdery. But basically, it's the best way to describe it is it's white and powdery and it's kind of crusty. So, but I can't really find any more of it here. But we're going to spray it for everything. So, okay, I'm ready to prune. And at one time, this Schefflera had a nice canopy, but some of the leaves have grown a lot higher, and it's time to give it a prune. Now, I'm not worried about what I cut because, I mean, in Japan they defoliate, a Schefflera completely in I think it's April and October. And that is how you get the nice bark like this instead of just, green. And also that keeps it small, of course. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start pruning it up. So here I go. All right, so there's a little branch right here that I want to take off because it's too low. So I've got my concave cutters. And I'm going to go in there and just take that out. There's another one here. Which is too low. And this one's hard to get to. I really don't want large leaves like these. These are too large. Okay, take that one off. So the first thing I'm going to do is to go around just making sure that I get my canopy back. Okay, now I got my canopy back, and I see two instances where the branches are too long. So now I need to focus on cutting the branches. Okay, you can see where the old cut was made. Right here is the dead wood from that. And all this is new growth. And even though, it's pretty, it's too high. So what I'm going to do is to cut it back to here. So that gives me 3 nodes above the old cut. A nice flat cut. And that'll fill in nicely. Got another one here. Where this branch has become too long and this growth is too much, so I'm going to cut this back. And again, I'm going to leave 3 nodes here. I don't want to cut it in the middle of that node on the bottom, so right there. So now I have to look at that, and that was too long. Okay, now what I want to do is to look around the plant and see if it's taken on a shape that I don't want. I think that all this down here is too low. I want the tree to be more up, more like a tree instead of really low. Now I'm sure this could happen in nature, but I just want to take this off right now. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first focus on cutting the leaves, you know, back towards the branch. Not all the way against the branch, because some of that will die off. But, you know, pretty close to the branch like this. So this is the whole stem right here, or of that that leaf. And I'm not going to cut it in the middle. I'm going to cut it back towards here, like that. This will die off. And I'm just going to continue doing that to all the leaves that are too low for my taste. Alright, so what I've done is I've finished pruning it up into a shape that I find pleasing, and I believe that it's going to you know, regrow in these areas and fill in, and this time with smaller leaves. That's the beauty about Scheffleras. Well, actually most plants, even maples, you know, is when you cut the leaves it comes back smaller. So, and let me show you on another Schefflera, you know, what I would do to start a Schefflera out as far as pruning. This is a, you know, average Schefflera that you would get at a nursery. So the thing about it is it's actually 4 plants. You know, if you look at it up underneath, it's actually 4 plants. So the first thing I want to do though is I want to cut it back so that it could start growing some neat, interesting shape, more tree-like. I don't really want it to be 4 plants, but at this point what I'm going to do is just prune it back. And then over time I'll work on the roots. So the first thing I would do is just come in here and start getting an average height on all these stalks. And then I want the plant to bloom out, to start making branches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely defoliate the whole plant. It may seem destructive, but what it's going to do is spur on new growth, and it's going to make the stem, you know, turn barky, turn gray. All right, okay, it's actually 5 plants. So this is what I have now. And I've completely defoliated it. The reason why is because this is going to make branches start to form. It's going to start branching out, and new leaves are going to come out, which are actually smaller. Once that starts happening, I'll separate the roots, but I don't want to do that right now. But that is how I would start a Schefflera from a nursery. And what you will get eventually is, after a couple of years, you'll get bark that looks like this, and neat, interesting growth of the actual stems. So, and really you could, you know, you can see how far you could take it down. It'll just regrow. Alright, I'm all done pruning, so now it's time to go ahead and you know, spray for the pests, the scale, and the powdery mildew that I can't find now. What I did was I took a leaf sample to my local nursery, which is Pike's, and I asked the wise old gentleman there, I showed him what I had, and he suggested this product by Ortho, which what it does is it kills both pests and diseases. And since I don't, you know, since the Schefflera doesn't produce any fruit or anything, I'm willing to go all out with it. Okay, so the guy suggested that I use it for 15 days, 3 treatments once every 5 days. that'll take care of the adults now and the eggs that are on the plant. So let me just get this ready, shake it up, and I'll start spraying. Okay, so what I've done is I'm wearing gloves, you know, little latex gloves that I got from Target, just because I'm hands-on and I don't really want this chemical in my skin. So I'm just going to go ahead and start spraying it. Now remember, this is systemic. This is systemic, so I don't have to get it on the undersides of all the leaves. Although I'm going to try to with the, that's why I have the gloves on. Just got to back up to breathe. You don't want to inhale this stuff. So there we go. I've used about 1/3 of it, so I'll leave it like that for 5 days, and we'll see what happens. All right, well that's it. I've pruned it up, and I went ahead and applied the pest control to it. So, you know, again, I'll do the pest control every 5 days for 3 treatments, 15 days total, and that'll take care of that. Now the Scheffleras, you know, or tropicals, they're going to grow all the time as long as it's humid and hot. They're going to be growing, so I'll probably have to prune this again in another 3 months. So, but until then, we'll see you later. And remember, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching.